at t3.1. Canon 15-150 wide open. Meike 50mm at f4, or sorry, t4. This is the Angenieux 15-150 at f4, t4. Canon 15-150 f4 looks a lot sharper, semi-usable. Angenieux 15-150 at max aperture, f2.8 or t3.1. Canon 15-150 at f2.8 maximum aperture. Angenieux 15-150 at T4. Zoom test. This is the Canon 15-150 at f4, parfocal zoom test. Okay, so these two lenses, pretty cool. Pretty similar, and I bought this one first, so I thought you know, I really wanted something that zoomed really far and was parfocal. It's pretty dinged up. You can see right here the front element has a big ding on it. I was gonna fix it, but then they came across the Angenieux, and just been not wanting to spend $30 on a tool to fix it, so I don't necessarily need the filters on this. But in general, I would say it's a pretty cool lens. It's just not as good as the Angenieux. The Angenieux is really sharp, I'd say, at f4. Comparing it to the meike, with not only comparing it to that lens, which is a super sharp cine lens, it's also in 4K. So it's the 4K DCI setting, max quality, and then what I recorded for the Super 16 mode, it was still max quality, but obviously it's only 2.6K resolution. So in general, you're just going to get more sharpness. But honestly, that Angenieux was very close at f4, and I think when you stop it down even more, both lenses, since the micas are so sharp through and through, the Angenieux is just going to get closer and closer, so daylight's going to look really good. Overall, I think I was kind of surprised that this one was as good as it was. but it just isn't as good. You can see kind of a softness. There's a couple possibilities. One is that, I mean, like you saw the big ding in there, there could be something out of whack here, but in general, I've seen other videos that even do little bits of comparisons, and it's just kind of generally softer on this. But the other thing is that both of these lenses, they're so similar, actually. They both required the same kind of modification. This one, I ground down. It's a photodiox, adapter. It's nothing special. I bought another company, and it was the K&F Precision, exact same adapter, literally the same. I sent it back because it was just like another copy of it, but it's not like super nice. I think it's just galvanized something, aluminum or something, and ground it down because the infinity focus is a little bit out, and the parfocal isn't perfectly on with just the normal adapter without modifying it. But that also means that it's not quite as sharp as it can be. This one was definitely harder to get perfect, and it might just be because of this adapter. If I had two of these, which is sort of ideal because they're so nice. I mean, if you could hold this in your hand, it's actually a Metabones adapter. It's, I think, a nickel-plated bronze or brass or something. Sorry, nickel-plated brass. And it's just a lot thicker and a lot sturdier, which made it harder to grind down. Or I should say sand, don't grind, because it's very, very minuscule changes that you want to make to get this lens perfect. But it could be giving it a slight advantage on this lens. I honestly could not get it any more perfect here. In fact, I went a little further than I should have, and you can just sort of just slightly unscrew it and just see, and it's basically bang on, and you really can't get it much better. So I'm pretty much convinced that this is about as good as you can get for both lenses. So that's one quirk about these types of lenses. I don't know why these require grinding down and other lenses require shimming, but I do know that like various film cameras had specifically, even if they used the same like C mount or whatever, they had a different distance, and so the lens would be mounted to that camera specifically, so it'd be very custom made with just minor differences. So anyways, a couple things about this lens that I think are kind of cool. One is that it actually has a close. So the close goes, it's hard to see, if I hold it into the camera, you really can't see. Oh, sorry, maybe if yeah, there we go. Goes down and then boom, close. Kind of interesting. Wide open, it has sort of a round soap bubble bokeh, which is good too. But the other quirk that I really like, so this is the top of the adapter here. The Canon, it easily comes unscrewed here. Pull it out and you can turn this and just fits wherever you want. You can go over here or whatever. This is highly useful in that when you have to adjust the infinity focus here, you end up moving these lines. So the one that tells you about the aperture and the one that tells you about the focus and zoom. And that's actually the biggest problem I have with the Angenieux, is that I can't tell where my focus is, because in adjusting this, I've moved, so this is the top here, mounts on the camera just like this. I've moved the lines way over here. And I mean, I'm standing if I'm behind the camera, I'm on the left side here. And so this is just on the wrong side, underneath. I mean, it's pretty much terrible, but there's nothing you can do that I know of, because there's no unscrewing parts here. That honestly, there's a lot of parts that come unscrewed, but they're all threaded, right? They don't have that weird like bolt that you twist and you can set on there, like a little set screw. So I don't know, maybe there is a way to do that, but I kind of doubt it. So it's really my biggest gripe with this lens. Other than that, though, I mean, this lens is just amazing. The feel of it, the look of it, the glass, it's just so beautiful. It has this filmic look, and when you put it on your camera, you just feel like you're in like the 60s or 70s or something. Just it's so cool. It's so much fun. So in general, yeah, this thing is just a little bit softer. It's amazing that it's that close. I would definitely recommend it. I mean, it's pretty awesome, but I would say unless you're going to use an effect, don't use it at 2.8. Use it at 4. Definitely use it at 5.6. Maybe stay at 4, but yeah, 2.8, not good. The last thing I would say, and again, this is pretty beat up. There's even some spots here, but the coatings are definitely different, and that I think is really the main thing that kind of pushes me towards the Angenieux. See that sort of magenta, purpley look. This has sort of a yellow, sometimes green look. It just doesn't have nice coatings. It's sort of video feel, you know. It's definitely a TV zoom. I mean, that's what it's made for. It's not highly noticeable. So honestly, if you're in a pinch, I got this thing for like $80, and I think it was $10 shipping. So total was $90, and then I got the Angenieux for I think a pretty screaming deal for $400, fully functioning and working and everything. I just had to adjust these, so keep that in mind. Yeah, 2 good lenses. Angenieux wins so handily. Yeah, that's it.